Good evening. This is International News Network with your daily global update. Tonight, we begin in Ukraine, where the war continues to reshape European security planning and military readiness across the continent. After months of sustained fighting, the conflict is defined less by rapid advances and more by endurance, logistics, and constant surveillance across a long and heavily defended front line. Across eastern sectors, units rotate through fortified positions built over the winter. Trenches, reinforced shelters, and layered defenses show a battlefield focused on holding ground rather than sudden breakthroughs. Artillery remains the dominant force. Batteries fire methodically throughout the day, targeting supply roads and assembly points, while counter-battery systems attempt to locate opposing guns within minutes. Small drones fill the sky above fields and tree lines. Reconnaissance flights map movement constantly, forcing troops and vehicles to travel cautiously, often under camouflage or during darkness. Military planners describe the fight as industrial in nature. Success depends on repairs, ammunition stocks, and the steady flow of equipment rather than dramatic offensives. Western support continues through coordinated rail and road corridors, moving air defense interceptors, armored vehicles, and spare parts toward the front. Logistics hubs operate around the clock. Mechanics work beside damaged vehicles, replacing tracks, engines, and electronics to return equipment to service within hours. Air defense crews monitor radar screens near cities and infrastructure, prepared to respond quickly to incoming missiles or drones targeting energy and transport networks. Civilians nearby adapt to the routine of alerts and shelters, maintaining daily life while the conflict remains close enough to shape every decision. Beyond the battlefield, NATO governments are adjusting long-term strategy. Defense spending is rising, and production lines are expanding across Europe. Officials say the objective is sustainability, the ability to support Ukraine while strengthening their own readiness for years, not months. Factories increase output of ammunition and vehicles, with shifts extended and new contracts signed to stabilize supply chains across multiple countries. Training grounds host multinational exercises integrating air defense, artillery coordination, and logistics planning among allied units. Rail yards and ports show the scale of movement, containers and equipment staged carefully for rapid deployment if required. Turning to the Middle East, regional tensions remain elevated following intermittent strikes and diplomatic warnings between several actors. While no large-scale escalation is underway, analysts note that miscalculation remains a persistent risk. Border areas show reinforced patrols and checkpoints, with armored vehicles positioned near key crossings and supply routes. Diplomatic meetings continue behind closed doors as mediators attempt to reduce pressure and prevent wider confrontation. Humanitarian agencies prepare contingency plans, stockpiling medical and food supplies in case conditions deteriorate quickly. In the Indo-Pacific, relations between China and the United States remain cautious, shaped by military signaling and technology competition. Recent maneuvers and statements emphasize deterrence while both sides avoid steps that could trigger direct confrontation. Naval patrols transit contested waters at steady intervals, maintaining presence without direct contact, each side documenting the other's movements. Industrial and technology sectors continue to feel the effects of export controls and strategic trade restrictions. Regional partners expand cooperation exercises, focusing on interoperability and maritime awareness. Across all regions, a common theme emerges: stability now depends on preparation, logistics and coordination rather than sudden events. Governments are planning for prolonged competition and resilience, reshaping defense and energy policy at the same time. Energy infrastructure is reinforced and monitored, with crews inspecting pipelines, substations, and transport corridors. Control rooms track data continuously, highlighting how cyber and physical security increasingly overlap. Urban life continues in the background, a reminder that these strategic decisions ultimately affect ordinary people first. That is your daily global update. For deeper context and ongoing coverage, stay with International News Network. We'll continue to monitor developments across Ukraine, Europe, the Middle East, and the Indo-Pacific, and bring you the next report as events unfold.